1. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Three, two, one. Okay.
Hello everybody. Before we get started, as always, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music we've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Dreamer by Declan DP. You can find their information in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Thank you to Declan and everybody like them who makes it free to use or low-cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. I don't have the model turned on. Ha-cha! Alright, everybody. We are... Yeah, go Deuscain. We are back on the PNG model tonight because I have decided that my first Just Chatting stream, since it was on my mind, was going to be Sanitizing Twitter and Social Media 101 with Professor Deuscain. Hence, the reason why we're wearing this model. But... now that that explanation's out of the way, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety tape streamer for the night, and for tonight, I explained what we're doing. We're going to be cleaning up social media. We're going to be taking the cesspool that is specifically Twitter and trying to make it into something manageable, palatable, a little less disgusting. No, not take it down. We're going to use it. We're just going to make it something that doesn't make us hate our lives all the time. So, I have put together a rough itinerary of what we'll be discussing, and it's split broadly into 3 categories: cleaning, organizing, and moderating. Now, some of the things that I'm going to show you and recommend are 100% free. Some of them are things that are based on the browser I use, and there might be an alternative in a different browser, or there might not be. Some of the things I'm going to show you do have a cost associated with them, but I'm going to try and show you why there's value attached to it and why it's a good thing. It's up to you whether or not you want to use it, but it is something that I want to make you aware of, that it is out there and it is a cool thing, at least according to me. But without further ado, let's get the lesson started. That overlay. So, here we are, and we are looking right now at the Twitter homepage, which I'm not capturing my cursor, which I do want to capture, so let me go fix that. Oh, it should be capturing the cursor. Where the hell is that? Does it just not have focus? There we go. I actually had to click at it. That's why. So, this is the Twitter notifications page for my account. And yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit loud. So first thing, we're going to clean this up. Now, broadly speaking, there's 2 ways I recommend doing this. One is a bit brute force, but it will work. Another one's a little bit simpler, but I'm not sure if it's available in every browser. So first and foremost, if you have a panel like this on the side that you don't like and you want to get rid of it, ad block in some capacity. I have uBlock Origin installed on this particular browser. You would go here to whatever the element is, block element, and you can modify the settings to see what it looks like to block that particular element. And what the page will turn into when you're done doing it. So this would show me who to follow recommendations, but it would strip out all that news crap on the side that I don't want to see. Also, I have it zoomed in just so it's ease of legibility. Is there a way to remove it without ad blocker, even going into your browser's nerd settings? Even going in your... So we're going to get to that, but ad block is the way that is probably going to be available for most browsers because you can probably get ad block on most browsers. However, there is, in fact, a superior tool. Something which I had to turn off so I could show you how bad this is from the start and how much better and more glorious an experience it can become. So we're going to go into extensions and we're going to turn on control panel for Twitter. And it'll show up here now. A little blue bird. And we're going to go back here. I'm going to refresh. And behold, all that shit is gone. We have a lot fewer options here on the side. We have no upsells for premium services for Twitter or anything else. Twitter Premium does not even show. It's not in here. It's not anywhere. It's all gone with one add-on. You can open up the add-on. Oh, it does not show that at all. Damn it. I don't feel like doing a display capture. But... one sec. Let me clean up a few things. Because I probably should do a display capture to do this properly. That means cleaning up some things. Alright. Media share. Oh, I do have a display capture. There we are. Alright. There's our menu. So, this gives you a list of options that are selectable to turn on or off various aspects of Twitter. It'll set it to always use the following chronological timeline by default. You can even hide the For You analytical algorithmic timeline. So for example, I'll go over here. We start on following. There's no For You. Go up here. Now For You is back. So if you want to use it, you can. If you don't, you can just turn it right off. And default yourself to it as well. Indeed. Very interesting, subtle. So, you can show retweets in a separate tab. Show them, hide them, do nothing. That's basically this listing here. Quote tweets. Show, hide, separate tab. Retweets and list. Do nothing. Or hide them. So, you have basically a whole bunch of timeline modifications in this section. UI improvements. My personal favorite, replace X branding changes. We've got the blue bird back. We've got the X back. Nah, fuck it, we got the blue bird back. Nothing quite like giving that man the middle finger about all of his branding stuff. And it also changes the icon up here, too. It is a petty and spiteful change, and I love it. Hiding views under tweets. So if we go and look at my going live tweet here, I don't see the views. But if I go in and disable that feature, now I can see the number of views. So it lets you opt in or out of a number of features on Twitter. So this is a UI improvements section. You can hide notifications from verified accounts in the followers tabs, restore headlines under external links, restore quote tweets link under tweets. Whole bunch of good shit. Then there's some UI tweaks about using a different font. Let's go back to the original one. Disable bold and italics in tweets. Use normal text font. Navigation density, which is more of like what's on the side there. But algorithmic content, hide the sidebar. That's all that crap over there. You can have it show relevant people when viewing a tweet, which is nice. Like I said, hiding the explore stuff, but it does keep the search bar. For engagement, you can hide the metrics completely, so you don't see how many people like it. Reduce interaction mode hides the action bar under tweets, so replies are the only way of interacting. And disables the home timeline. Literally gets rid of that. And then you also can go in, modify parts that you don't need. If you don't use the bookmark feature, turn it off. It disappears. You can literally turn off the button down here below. So, if it's a feature you don't use, shut it off. Make it go away. One thing I actually do kind of like is the messages drawer. Shows down here for direct messages. It's kind of a neat feature, but you can turn it off. Message board. Where was I? Engagement, UI items you don't use. And then there's things in the more menu items for monetization, pro, ads, jobs, things like that. So this is a really powerful tool for a one-stop shop cleanup of most of the garbage UI crap on the side of Twitter. And like I was showing, you can tweak it to adjust it to what you want and how you want things to look. So if you're in a browser that has control panel for Twitter, which I'm using Google Chrome, my strong recommendation, get it. It's amazing. It's a life changer. Because for the other stuff, will this VOD be on YouTube in case you need a refresher? Yes, 100% I'm going to put this on YouTube. That is part of the point why I did this. I'm just like, I've seen so many people just have kind of bad opinions of social media and negative opinions about their feeds. And I'm like, someone's got to tell them. Someone's got to tell them there's a glorious, glorious world out there of cool shit on Twitter. You just have to put in the work to make it awesome. And that's what we're going to focus on tonight. So that is generally the start of the cleaning section, which is definitely the easiest thing to do because it's literally, you can brute force it with ad block or control deck or Twitter control panel. If you do use ad block, be careful and try and use those previews when you're checking it out like I showed you, because sometimes you can accidentally whoopsie and fry large chunks of the page if you're not careful. Also, sometimes Twitter does update what it uses to name things, because you usually block based on CSS styles with ad block, and if they change the name, the block won't go through. So Twitter control panel is pretty consistently taking care of it. But that is how we're cleaning. So next is organization. Broadly speaking, there are two ways of organizing Twitter that I think are useful and effective. I'm gonna go here. So I have a list section. If you're looking for the free version, this is what you do. You build lists. You find accounts that have something in common, like artists or anime and manga or comics, Dungeons and Dragons, gaming, and you build lists around them. And you can pin lists. Now it's creating lists. You can pin lists at the top here and add or remove them as you want. So currently I have my streaming list, something I call reading list, gaming, favorite artist, which is a subset of my artist list, and one I call VTuber Trends, which is a bunch of big famous VTubers I added to a list privately, just to kind of keep an eye on what people are working on now. So just from standard Twitter, you want to look at stuff? Bam. Here's my streamer list. And stuff is just there. Quick and easy access to anybody I added to that list. So streamers is where a lot of the people I interact with on a regular basis is. Reading list is a general all-purpose list of a bunch of different accounts that I follow. Gaming is any account that is about gaming, for gaming, talking about gaming. So Steam's on there. These are the people who made Valhalla. These are the people who made The Dark Side Detective, Humble Bundle, Razer. So sort people into categories based off of what they do and what your interest in them is. And you can easily organize these lists for quick and easy access. There is a limit for how many you can pin to the top. I think we are at that for this particular account. So it is 5 plus your timeline. But it's still a good amount. And even if you are short and you want to add more, you can just open a list here and bookmark it and put it on your bookmarks bar. And that way in the future, say you close this and you're like, well, I want to go just check that one specific list, and there it is, and it just loads. It just loads. So this is the quickest, dirtiest way to do it. That being said, it does take time. This one has a time investment for setting it up, but it won't cost you a penny, and it works fairly well. This is what I did for the first several months of Elon Musk, actually probably close to the first year of Elon Musk owning Twitter, because the previous method I was using was no longer available. He shut it down. Or maybe not the first year, but he did a thing eventually, and he shut down the thing that I was using. And yeah. And you can add new lists that other people have made. Some people have public lists they share. A lot of mine I tend to make private for reasons we will get into later when we get to moderation. But here and now, lists are a great way to organize your interests, organize people, and you can actually see conversations between people in lists if multiple people are in that list together. For example, and I saw it here, Starblight Malice, friend of the channel, hang out with her a lot, is talking with another streamer named Joey D. King. You can see the whole conversation here in the thread. And you can probably use Twitter control panel to modify how this looks as well, because it's still all just the main Twitter feed. We haven't done anything. We're still on twitter.com. So it's a fantastic way to put all this together, make it all work. And it's good. It's just good. It works. It's rough, but it works. Now I'm going to show you the one that I like, which unfortunately requires me to acknowledge actually, no, it's not here right now. Go back here, and I have to turn something on. Where was it? Ah. Premium. I have paid for the premium. I am not proud of myself for paying for the premium, but I did buy it. And I bought it for what they are referring to as X Pro, or what I previously used to call and will continue to refer to as, for the duration of this video, TweetDeck. So, TweetDeck allows you to view multiple lists and searches all in a row in one column here. So I set up one specifically for tonight. This is just my notifications. But let's say I want to add something here. I want to add my streamer list. So I open this up. I go to lists. I go to streamer. There's everything on my streamer list. And I can just scroll up or down. Here's the same conversation between Malice and Joey. And it's all there. Basically built. It's, heck, they even call it pro.twitter.com. So let's add something else here. Let's add hashtag ENVTuber. You can add that here. Now I can see anybody who's tweeting out to hashtag ENVTuber. You look sus as hell. Coming streamer, professional web developer, and designer. Sorry. Yeah, that. Sussy. Sussy, sussy, sussy. This is a member of HoloLive. Yeah, that's a fake account. They're getting a block. Unfortunately, you do get all those people who are desperately looking for attention and are doing crap like that. But you do have the ability to add lists here to the side. So let's say you have a favorite streamer and you don't want to miss anything they post. Actually, let me... Let's take, for example, Labris Amaryllis. A streamer I started hanging out with recently, hangs out in VR chat. Good person. You can add their account to this. So if you have a favorite streamer or somebody you collab with that you don't want to miss any post and you don't want it to get filtered out by something in the list, you both are. Well, thank you, Subtle. But you can add that here. You can just add specifically their media tab. Oh, that looks ugly as sin. I hate that. Media preview, small, standard, wide column, narrow, medium. Yeah. But it does basically load in their profile as is on Twitter, which includes that hideous media tab that they implemented. I wish I could turn that off. Probably is a way to do that somewhere. I need to figure that out. But anyway, you can add a person's account in. So basically all the things I have here, timeline, lists, communities, which I'm not even sure what are those anymore. Discover communities, it's probably a lot of crap. Indie devs of Twitter, small artists, so any of that stuff you want to add, redacted image from web. You are not going to... Image from web is just going to get you filtered by me real fast. But any search, or you can just type the search up here. You can add your DMs, or we got the doc down here in the corner again. Their grok thing that they have that I don't care. Exploration or trending stuff if you want to watch that. Articles, you can add profiles through here as well, or like I did at the top, just search. Notifications, which is where I found mine over here, and you can specifically put it in twice. So if I want to list all of my notifications and then also see only specifically my mentions, you can do that. That is a way you can set this up and design it. You can also do drafts of posts, which the button to tweet is over here. This is a draft. You can build threads out this way too. I'm actually not sure if this can save as a draft. Might not be able to. Hi, Perry. But, you know what, actually. This is a draft. Cancel. We're saving the draft. Let's see if this actually works. Let me refresh and see if the draft's there. There's my draft. This is a draft. Yeah, giving Subtle an education here. So you can go in, you can do this. And then you also can add a column for schedule posts, which is what a lot of people use this for, is you can schedule a post out at a later time. I don't think you can do it through here because it's a really stripped down version on the side here for posting, but it is a feature. And you have, I think it's about 20 columns. Oh, you can put your bookmarks in here too. So you can have a ton of columns and basically just scroll left and right to see all of the information that you want. So that is the original TweetDeck, and it's easy enough to delete a column. You just click here on the side, delete one column, and it doesn't delete everything. So I can add and remove columns as I wish. It's simple, it's easy. That is the original TweetDeck that we had for years and years. But shortly before Musk took over, there was a beta. A beta for a glorious new version that I got to experience, and that I am very happy they have imported into Stupid X Pro, but it's really pro.twitter.com. And that is, they took this horizontal version of TweetDeck and they added verticality. You can program multiple decks and switch between them. The star deck is the new one I made for stream. I have one here specifically for my account. I switch to that. What do I have? Here's my profile so I can see everything I posted, everything I have pinned and all that stuff. I have notifications from mentions. I specifically have all notifications. I have direct messages. I have bookmarks. All here. If I had art tags, I could add them. So it's a quick and easy way to manage my brand, manage my VTubing setup. It's glorious. It's glorious. This is the one I'm typically in most days. And it contains my notifications window, because that's useful. My streamer list. My VTuber trends list. I have VGen commissions, because I've been looking into those lately. Twitch streamer. VTuber Uprising. And EN VTuber. Basically, these will update in real time as I interact with them, as I do stuff. Heck, I found Labs, Labras Amaryllis, because she showed up in some of these lists. Because what I will do is, as I'm doing other stuff throughout the day, I'll have this up, and I'll be like, oh, who's this person? This is reference from Web, so they're basically a bot. But here's this person. They're playing Ender Lilies. Yeah, you know, a chance meeting is due to fate. Yeah, a little bit. But you can basically add a game that you like to this list. And as a precaution, I'm going to turn this off for a moment and make sure this one is clean, because I know there's sometimes... Yeah, I'm so glad I did that, because the first one is a big old feet pick. I'm going to move that one out of the way. This is how I met a bunch of other streamers I interacted with for a long time. Is I would put the games I was playing, or games that had tags that I liked that did cool art or something, and I would put them next to my other expert level dodge. I know the one list is sussy, because I know the one list explicitly has spice in it. But you can do that. You can track all of the things that you like, that you care about, and switch between them at the drop of a hat to the one you have for your VTubing account, for your branding, or for basically watching stuff, trying to watch trends, trying to see what people are talking about, shopping for commissions, things like that, and switching back to your own account to manage your own branding, things like that. This is an incredibly powerful tool, and it's $8 bloody a month. I don't like paying the stinky man. I really don't like paying the stinky man. My God, I missed TweetDeck. I spent 6 months without TweetDeck, and I was getting the shakes. This thing is amazing. In fact, before the takeover for Twitter, I had 2 Twitter accounts that I was active in. My one that is currently used for streaming, and then another one, which for some reason got into the TweetDeck beta first. And I figured out a way to script hack my browser to voluntarily opt myself in to TweetDeck, because Daddy wanted TweetDeck on that one. I wanted the nicer TweetDeck on my account that I wanted to be more active in. So I did that. But phenomenal tool. Probably the single best asset I have for streaming right now, just for watching things, building stuff out. And like I said, it's easy enough to just set up ones for, this is what I do for streamer stuff. This is one for personal stuff. So it's got streamer, reading this, gaming, favorite artists, trends. I don't know what all is in that though, so I'm going to be a little bit careful. Like, you can really build this out and make it whatever you want. When I was using it previously, before Must took over, the account that had it, that I'd set it up previously, I had an entire VTuber group. Their accounts, their art tags, all of it just in one deck. And I could quickly and easily see like, oh, how's V Shoujo doing? Oh, how's Hollow Myth doing? Something like that, where you can just set it up like that and not miss anything that your particular streamer or group of streamers or friends are doing. It is an incredibly powerful tool. I was just kind of fiddling around with that. So, yeah. Really, really, really cool. I love TweetDeck. It is the only reason I'm paying that man $8 a month. But like I said, it is not free. If you want the free way to do it, lists. Lists will work. It is what I was using before I got access to TweetDeck again. And it was rough, but it could and would work. But my God, TweetDeck, my beloved. So now you know how to clean up social media to get rid of a lot of the crap on the side and the advertising and all that extra upselling bullshit. And now you know how to organize it for free or paying a little bit of extra money to add something like TweetDeck. Now we're going to the third and final section of this, moderation. So, I kind of glossed over this when we were talking about lists, but there are two types of lists. There are public lists, and there are ones such as this one here that has the little lock on it that are private lists. Anyone can see your public lists. No one can see your private lists unless you like voluntarily add them to. You might be able to add them to permissions. Don't show these posts. Manage members. No, I mean, there it explicitly says when you make a list private, only you can see it. So no one's going to know what's in this list. Which brings forth a powerful set of moderation tools. Now, some moderation is extremely simple and easy. If somebody posts, my favorite book is Mein Kampf, just block them. Just block them. They have nothing to add to this conversation or to your life. Just block them. Like for all those people, those accounts I was seeing that had like reference image from web. They're just bots. They're just bots trying to scam people, showing HoloLive models. Not worth it. Not worth bothering. But sometimes somebody's a little sussy, but not enough. In which case I've implemented my policy for what I call strikes. Strikes is a list, and I'm not going to show you. It says there's one member in there. I'm not going to show you who's in the list. Honestly, I don't even know off the top of my head who's in the list. But strikes is essentially, you messed up a little bit, but I'm not banning you. But if you do it again, and it's not enough for a ban, and I kind of get a little forgetty spaghetti on it, and I'm like, okay, you haven't messed up enough that I'm going to ban you. I'm going to add you to the strikes list. And when they're already in the list, when you go to add them, then you know they're a repeat offender, and then you know there's a problem. It's hard to suss out them. Sometimes I've noticed some bots do a pretty good job at mimicking. Sometimes. But the GFX bots are particular in like how they name themselves and how they interact and stuff. So they're pretty easy to suss out when they act up a whole lot. So there's a lot of accounts where they're like, hey, I'm a VTuber, but like you look at them and you're like, you have no link to Twitch, you have no link to YouTube, you have a link to like a Cardo, but it doesn't have any streaming sites on it. It's a bit much. But generally, yeah. So strikes is one level of my moderation where essentially it's a soft way of keeping track of people who act up and act out. And lets me know if I have to strike them more than once, they're probably worth removing. Or considering how much I want to follow them. I also have a sus list, which might be like, I might have somebody follow me, and much like Subtle here said, it's hard to tell whether or not somebody is a bot or not. Sus them. They're in my sus list. If they do anything again, then I know to get rid of them. But also, sometimes when adding a new account, I usually vet it. Who are they? What do they do? What do they talk about? Do they retweet a lot of NSFW content that I might not want on the account that I look at work? Do they retweet a lot of political content? I might see an account, I'm like, oh, they tweeted out a really nice picture. And then I look through their feed and I'm like, and every other post is complaining about politics. I don't want to follow this person. But sometimes I don't have time to moderate. Don't have time to look through something. I just see them really, see this person. I'm like, oh, they look really cool. I'd like to follow them. I want to know who they are, but I want to keep track of them. Probation list. The people in this list are people I follow that I have not had a chance to vet yet and are essentially in there until either they've proven that they're cool or that I get a chance to go and vet them and decide that they're cool. But fantastic way of setting yourself up to keep an eye on people that you might or might not be comfortable with. But also, worth talking about here, the difference between muting and blocking. Blocking is very aggressive, and it definitely lets the person on the other end know that you blocked them. And some people go for that. Some people intentionally try and bait out a block. Muting just means that you can't see them and they can't see you, but they can still, like, well, actually, no, you don't see them, but they can still see you. That's the difference from muting. So they can, like, still reply to your posts and say a bunch of sussy, crappy things. But, you know, if you're running a you're running a brand, you're running a business, on my streaming account, I tend to mute more than I block. At least I used to. I'm getting into the trending tabs more often. There's some people with just some dog shit opinions. Or people that I can tell talk way too much about politics. And I usually just block them. Because I don't want to have anything to do with them. I also have a remove list. Because sometimes somebody does a thing and I'm like, I want to get rid of them. I can't do it right now. It's going to take me a minute. So I add them to one list. So I can remember to go back and remove them later. Also, I've been lately using that for all those people who are like, hey, we're doing a giveaway. You need to follow my account for the giveaway. And I'm like, okay, once your giveaway's done, I'm going to remove you. And I'm tracking which account you're in, so I know how to do that. And I don't have one for this account, but I do have it for my other. I do have a block list or a blacklist. Which is essentially... every now and again, I find somebody that I'm like, you really do something cool, but there's something about you that I just can't stand. And I don't want to accidentally find you and follow you again. Because I've done that a few times. I've had people that I used to follow and then they got weird and then I had to unfollow them. And then sure enough, I find them again because I'm still traveling in the same circles that they do. And I follow them again and immediately go, oh, right, I remember you now. You're that person who won't stop talking about, you know, feet pics or something. Add them to the block list so that if you ever see them again, you go to put them in the list to see who they are, to add them to these things. And you already see that they're in the blacklist. You know to back off. You know not to do anything with them. I mostly treat the blacklist on that account as a do not ever spend any money on these people kind of thing. Because some of them are artists or creative types. Most of them are, actually. And it's just like they had just the wrong opinion for me not to be like... not for me. I'm not ready to burn those bridges completely. But at the same time... they are in the strongest level of moderation that I'm just not going to deal with. You can also do that for people that might chat heavily, that you can't add them to other lists. Because that's one unfortunate thing with lists is if you get a person who's a heavy retweeter, you cannot add them to lists because lists will pick up a lot of those retweet problems, especially on mobile. So I had like a chatty Cathy list kind of thing on one account, and just the people I would go in there specifically to go to the list, and as soon as I would pop in, I would go to the members, and then just click on them individually, and, like, then go to their media tab and see what they did. And I would just bypass all the other stuff that they were doing and talking about, because I know for every one post they actually publish of their own stuff, they share 500 other posts. And sometimes that's a bit much. It's a bit much. So... but those are the general tools I have for moderation. Mostly it's a liberal use of muting and blocking, as well as use of private lists for keeping track of people that act up or act out or that I'm just not 100% confident with. Usually if they're in another list, they aren't in a lot of my moderation lists, but you know, there's a bunch of new people that I've been interacting with lately. That's why the probation list is at 8. I actually went in and cleaned that up a little bit. I think either this past weekend or the weekend before, and took a few names out of that because I'm like, okay, I've hung out with you for a month. You've been cool. You've been cool and you're chill. But under no circumstances do I ever want anybody to know who's in that probation list. That's the point of keeping it private. And these are things that, generally speaking, for your own moderation purposes, you shouldn't share. Like, I understand that people want to share around a block list like that. Don't. Like, it's people react negatively when you add them to that stuff, and that's kind of why I have a lot of these lists private, because I have this favorite artist list, or I think I used to have like a favorite writers list or something too. And one day I added somebody to the favorite artist list, and it wasn't private, and I got a response from them of like a screenshot and them going, "Aw, thank you." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm being perceived. I don't like this." The public lists are things to share and things that you don't mind people being added to. The private lists are for your own purposes. Name them whatever you want, but keep it private so that people don't react to it. That's kind of the point of it. Example, this commissions list. There's 46 people in commissions. I don't want everybody who is in that list to think that I'm going to commission them in the near future when I add them to that list. It's more of like tracking people who've done a cool thing that I saw, and I'm like, I'm going to get back to you later. Honestly, I should go in that list and clean it up a little bit, probably. But yeah, some things just aren't worth the drama of adding people to lists. But yeah, but that is, generally speaking, how I use my Twitter moderation. It has served me well. It gets rid of a lot of problematic people, because again, a big part of that strikes list, strikes is literally just failing the vibe check too many times. And for me being like, man, I remember you always are bitching about something, or you're always a sourpuss, or you're always getting involved in Twitter drama, and you don't necessarily have a bad opinion, but you won't stop talking about it. I'm putting a strike on them. And then the next time they go and tick me off about that, and I'm like, oh, well, you're talking about that Twitter drama, I'm gonna go put a strike on you. Oh, you already got that strike. You out. You out. So, useful tools. And the general experience has made my life profoundly better. Now, I can go here to Twitter. I can go to my notifications and streaming tab. I can see all of these cool things that... What is this? Twitch affiliate kick sponsor. What? No, they are a Twitch account. Oh man, they got one of these weird logos that I saw everywhere. That's sussy, but I'm not going to do anything about it. But yeah, it's cool stuff. And this is a way, like I said, you can make Twitter good and decent and effective to be in and be around without just hating your life. Because, yeah, there was a time that I used to be on Twitter and I used to be very active, and I would hang around people who did nothing but complain about politics all the time. And it made me unhappy. And once I realized I just had too many mornings, I would get up and I would look through Twitter on my phone, and I'm like, I would just read the terrible things these people shared, and I'm like, I'm angry again. I'm starting every day angry. I'm tired of starting every day angry. And I clean those people out of my life. And I think even for many of them, I had a privated list that I added them to, and I unfollowed them. And as long as they didn't restrict their account access, I could still go in and look at what they were saying and catch up with them from time to time. But they weren't front and center in my face. And that is actually one power of lists. You don't need to follow somebody to put them in a list. So like the streaming list, if I want somebody there, I can add them there and not add them to following. So for a while, I was even doing like following as the people I wanted to see on my phone, and lists were people that I wanted to see on desktop. There's a lot of how I looked at it and did it. So there's a lot of good tools. But that is, generally speaking, the lecture for the day. It clocked in at a little less than an hour, but yeah. Things that I think will be useful and should benefit people. So All right, class. Any more questions? Notice I had a few. Like I said last, I will be putting this VOD up for people to look at, so they can see these tools and tricks and things. No, Professor, all good? Thank you. Yeah, because I think you were one of the people, Subtle, that was just like, Twitter, hiss, boo, grr. And I'm like, no, it's actually quite nice. Once you moderate the crazy people or the ones that are there for drama, like, you're a MySpace guy. Of course you are. Blue Sky is trying to do something like that? Exactly. Yeah. Blue Sky is very, very similar. I actually have Blue Sky on this. So, like, comparison Blue Sky to Twitter. Let me actually fix my zoom on this. The zoom did lots of things were legible, but like, yeah, Blue Sky is very much just trying to be Twitter. It's made by the same people. It has a lot of similar features. They're adding things in. When I joined Blue Sky, they didn't have a media tab, and they have that now. They've got lists that you can add stuff to. You cannot private these lists, though. That is one difference. Moderation, muted words and text moderation lists. You can create those. So, yeah, it's really good. It has its own quirks and tricks. Just the downside of something like Blue Sky is most people, which actually this is really cool. I am going to retweet this because that's dope as heck. The downside of something like Blue Sky is most people who use social media now are using it for one of two reasons. They're either somebody who is running a business, which content creators would be part of that, or there's somebody who is engaging with media, which you need people creating that media to share it, and those people are running a business. There has to be a certain threshold of both on a platform for them to kind of work together and work in harmony. Blue Sky is too small, and there isn't that underlying base. Like, people with a business can't come to Blue Sky to grow because they have a certain level of their business they need to work now. Like, you can't go from having 10,000 followers on Twitter to being single digits on Blue Sky. That's just not going to work for your business. Yeah, it's really small. In part because they had it locked for a long time, and they had their reasons for doing that. In part because I think Musk tweeted something out or said or did something, or people just expected him to do something, and basically so many people tried to sign up for Blue Sky, they DDoSed the site one weekend. Unintentionally. So, yeah. So content creators can't come to Blue Sky because it's too small for them to really get a lot of benefit out of. So they can't really have that as their solo platform unless they're very small and they're starting to grow. It's very casual. And then people who want to consume content. Now, what do you do? Now, what if you do both hop on it early in case it explodes? Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I got on it as soon as I was able to. That's fine, Subtle. My brain's fighting hard tonight anyways. You know, I kind of got on it early because I wanted an alternate to Twitter, but no sleep, lots of work. Yeah, I feel that. And I wanted an alternate to Twitter. It's actually how I met Malice. Starblight Malice, I met through Blue Sky. So if I had never gotten on Blue Sky, I never would have met Malice. And she's been a great friend for like 6 months or more. So you platforms give you different opportunities for people to meet. Because different people will work on different platforms. But yeah, if you're going for volume, you need a legacy platform like Twitter. But if you want to try something new and you can experiment, something like Blue Sky is fine. Just the problem is, like, really big content creators are definitely not going to be using Blue Sky as their primary. They can't. They need to reach an audience. If you're an artist and you're trying to sell commissions, you can't go to Blue Sky and sell commissions. Let's take this person's account as an example here. They've got a link tree. Blue Sky, they also have a Twitter. So they shared that one photo. I am actually living dangerously because I don't know how safe their timeline is. Did they not share that? What was this one called? Silk Witch. Alright. Slime Pirate. You have the Slime Pirate on both? Nope. Come on. Shark Pirate. Astral Botanist. Axolotl. I'm guessing some of these are older ones. Trying to find a good example, and it's tough. Be surprised by what's not out there yet. A little bit, yeah. But yeah, just looking at this is a 700 likes, 135 retweets, 5 comments, versus this piece on Twitter, 3.5 thousand, double the retweets, double the comments. So this person can't just be on one platform. They have to be on multiple. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's not easy to do content creation these days. A lot of places are an uphill battle unless you're really, really big and you're just moving your big community from one platform to another. That makes it a lot easier. But it's hard to build that initial group and platform. That is one of the big struggles of content creation. And there's my repost. But that is kind of all I had planned. I wasn't sure how long it would take tonight. But yeah, it's a general all-purpose thing for social media. So I think I'll switch back over to just chatting and we'll just hang out a little bit. I am going to go and turn off that display capture because I'm going to get myself into trouble if I don't. And back over to chatting. Let me actually bring out the nice model now. This is nice to you, Professor. Yeah, you folks are pretty new. You didn't actually see what my old models were for PNG tubing. Because, let me actually show this. I can... Because yeah, I had like full body PNG models. And I asked them to be designed so they could toggle, they could look left and right to the side, and they could look forward, and actually have. Of course, it's an ad break now. I spite you. We'll lock that for now. I can't believe that stupid ad break. My God. But I hope all you folks that are watching with an ads-free experience are having a good time. It can be a lot to figure out how to handle social media and figure out how to make all this stuff make sense without wanting to pull your hair out, because Lord have mercy, it sometimes makes me want to do that too. But yeah, these are generally some yeah, sorry, Settle. I do 3 minutes of ads every hour to avoid pre-rolls. It's the only way to do it. But no, like I said, it's a useful tool. It's helpful to manage this kind of thing just for your own mental health and well-being. And yeah, there's a lot of good in social media. I've met people through social media. I've dated people through social media. I've built friendships through social media. I've discovered art and music and games and just so many things that improved my life and made it better. That really does... Well, it does not like that. All right, it doesn't like it in the text window. Yeah, it's good. That have kind of improved my life and made it better through social media. And I find it difficult to hate it when sometimes the difference is whether or not you use the default version or whether you moderate it and iterate, sanitizing your feed and making it better for yourself and ultimately better for everybody around you. Having a cleaner feed is a glorious, glorious thing. And I recommend it to everybody. Ad break done in just a few seconds. Welcome back from the ad break. I'm sorry that happened at the worst possible time. Anyway. Oh, goodness. What I was going to do was I was going to give you a bit of a preview on what my old PNG model was. So it has the forward-facing version. It also has a version looking to the side, which I reverse to do that, so I could turn and look at people and do that kind of stuff. I also have different outfits. Because when I got it designed, I asked for the artist who made it to basically prep it for different outfits so I could have different looks. So this is actually the fall outfit that's my current live 2D pixel model is based off of. It's based off of this. Much like the other one, it has the left and the right, and it also has the forward facing. And then there is the glorious summer outfit, which I might bring back again this year, here and there, from time to time. It's this monstrosity. Speedo. No, not a Speedo. Those are shorts. But they are salmon pink shorts, so... and there's a little bit... You rock those Crocs? So, there's actually a story behind this outfit. The artist who did this one, which I believe she's still mentioned in my About section below, but it's Navaris. They work with two other artists, one of which is their spouse, and then a friend of theirs that lives in the U.S. These two are living in, I think, Central America, South America. I forget exactly. I think it might be South America. But the three of them collectively work a business together, where each of them knows different things, and work and have different kind of like focuses. So Nivi does a lot of like pinup art is her background, but she also does animation. Her friend Poppy also does illustrations, but does a lot of like comics. And Nivi's partner Harriet does animation specifically with a focus on like live 2D. So Nivi might do an illustration and then cut it up for live 2D, or make it so that it could be cut up for live 2D, and then Harriet will animate it. And then at one point they were putting together a comic that they've had hiatuses on it, but generally speaking, I think Poppy did the character illustrations, Nivi did the backgrounds, and Harriet, whose name is also Bunny, Harriet Bunny. So if I mention somebody named Bunny, that's who it is. Bunny would do like the text and the dialogue and get that all cleaned up and nice. But I'm a member of their Discord community, where each of them has a different color. Bunny is blue, Poppy is pink, Nivi is purple. And specifically, the comic they make is about a young woman who is inheriting her family's onsen, their Japanese-style bathhouse. And the logo on the shirt is the logo you would find at a Japanese onsen bathhouse. So this is kind of a call out to the three artists that, oops, that's the wrong. No, the three artists that I was hanging out with and that helped make this model and bring it to life. And specifically, the purple is for Nivi, my model parent, who also loves all things reptiles, to the point of when she did a self-portrait, her self-portrait had her wearing Crocs. And I'm like, I am wearing purple Crocs to honor Mama Nivi. So, but yeah, that's where this design came from. So, good time. Yeah, it's fun. It's a good, like, I wanted something for the summer because I had this for the fall, and actually the original one I got made was this one. This was the first of the second generation models. I had a previous one that was just like a half bust, like not half bust. It was like a waist high one that I enjoyed using it at the time, but I quickly wanted to get something better, and it was getting up to Halloween, and so I was thinking about getting something in a costume, but I wasn't sure what. And then one of the people from that server, I think it was actually Poppy, popped in to take a look at my streams one night. And the first thing she said in my chat was to scream at the top of her lungs, "You look like a fucking school teacher." And she just started laughing at me. Which, to be fair, that other one was like a half button-down shirt with a cardigan. I did kind of look like a, derpy school teacher. But I'm like, I can work with this. Let's lean into that. So, that's actually where this one came from. I sent Nivi a bunch of references for, like, college professors. And, like, specifically, like, English college professors. And that's where this one came from. It's Poppy being a bit of a dick one night, which Poppy's known for being a bit of a dick. It's kind of her charm point in the group. And we love her for it. The Watson right hand. Yeah, I like the coat thing. The coat action's great. But yes, I got this made both because Poppy made that comment, and there was another streamer that I was interacting with at the time who would get kind of like breathy and a little bit blushy sounding anytime she was like seeing like a really well-dressed guy, and I had a collab schedule with her, and I was able to have this to bring out for that collab to kind of tease her a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, this is my dressing up nice. This is I'm looking good, and also like a little bit of a costume. So something fun. Weirdly, it's like almost like a Doctor Who outfit, but his is a little more eccentric. And then, whoops, not that one. This one. And then this one was like after that was done, I wanted something that was like more fall and winter themed, that was like warm and cozy. So it's basically a hoodie, a jacket, jeans, and just brown shoes. So yeah. Fun fact, my models are actually based off of how I look in real life. They've cleaned it up a little bit. I am a little bit rounder than the model. I am not quite as toned, because I've seen what's under the clothes, and yeah, the model's a lot more toned than I am. But otherwise, yeah, it is basically me. So, yeah. Though I did learn the hard way with these particular models, the unfortunate pain of chroma keying. Notice this one's red, this one's green, this one's blue. What do I set my chroma key to? Who knows? Who knows? I can... There we go. But yeah, this is actually what I used for streaming for, I want to say, more than a year after I got them. Because the first one I got in like fall of 22. And I used them up until I started using the new Live 2D model in January of this year. So like something like 15 months. But yeah, I still love them. They've served me well. I still use them on advertising and posts and stuff that Nivi does. is actually part of a VTuber speed dating event last summer. And 100% I broke out the tie because that's why I had it made. Why make multiple purchases when I can have one purchase that fulfills multiple needs? So this one was, you look like an English teacher. Also, I can sass that one streamer. Also, if I ever need to look nice on a stream, I've got it. Very smart. Yeah, that's why I've got the nice outfit on. Look at me. Look how smart I look. You can't see a dumb thought in that head. Which means I'm very good at masking, because there are plenty of dumb thoughts in that head. But yeah, actually, do you folks want to see my original model? I can load that in. Let me turn this off for a second. Dumb thoughts, but talking to you, very intellectual. Yeah. Where is it? Do I have... Oh. Am I a little sleepy? Where is it? Model. No, it's not in the backups folder. Oh, PNG. Version 1. This is the English teacher that launched 1,000 ships. So, bit simplistic, but they did a good job for what I asked of them. Basically a black cardigan, green undershirt with half button down, salt and pepper beard. It's actually pretty decent. It's not too bad. That like one stray hair at the top of my head bothers me. I don't know why. It vexes me so. But yeah, it was a good like starter VTuber model for me. The person that was doing it was doing like emergency commissions, so I got a really good deal for this. And it's basically this, and I think I have like a open mouth, closed mouth version, and I think that's all it is, right? Yeah, I have a version with an open mouth and a version with a closed mouth. Now, these days, I probably would have gone to something like VGen to get something commissioned there. Because there are people that make some really great models on that site. But again, I'm fairly happy with what I got done at the time. Ooh. But I'm glad it seems like folks enjoyed my little spiel tonight about social media and my just wanted to get on my soapbox and just be like, no, it's not all terrible. Y'all just don't know how to use it right. Because I swear to God, I lost my shit sometimes when I see people and they're like, oh my God, I can't find anybody's stuff. I'm like, are you using like the following tab? Like, no, I'm on For You. I'm like, don't ever use For You. Don't do that. It's terrible. Nothing's as good as MySpace. MySpace, it made all of us coders. Yeah, it's not bad. I do think social media works better when it's a niche. When like there's something that brings people together and it's not like a whole bunch of disconnected groups that should not be interacting. Like, that's kind of the thing that killed Instagram in some ways. Is like, it was great as an artist community with photographers and stuff. But the moment they started adding soccer moms, it became a problem. And they started catering to soccer moms because it's just like, no, you made Instagram worse. Get them out of here. Because fun fact, I was on Instagram the first week it was available on Android devices. It's always the parents come in to ruin the kids' fun. And the problem is the parents bring their kids along. And they're like, no, my 5-year-old should be allowed to have an Instagram account. I don't care that the terms of service say that they need to be 14. which I disagree with. I don't think you should be on social media at 14. But that's my 2 cents. But yeah, parents have a lot of opinions about what their kids should and shouldn't be allowed to see, and they'd much rather have the platform moderate them than actually do the job themselves, which is unfortunate. Because, yeah, let me put it this way. I was on Instagram on Android before Facebook bought it, which is a period of perhaps less than 48 hours. Like, it was a really, really small window. But let me tell you, early Instagram was great. Like, there was art and beauty. There was full-on people doing, like, nude photography on there. And it was, like, classy. And it was great. It was so good. I miss early internet. First day was great, and then they ruined it. Yeah, like, I have opinions about, like, what kind of caused a lot of problems in social media. Some of it is moderation, letting kids in. Some of it, I think, is actually, like, subscription services like Patreon. As much as I want to praise them, I am a little bit loud. As much as I want to praise them for allowing people to make a career out of their passions, at the same time, it's also really pushed a lot of advertising pressure on people to, like, constantly generate content, which causes burnout tremendously, while also encouraging people to just constantly talk about it. Because I see people sometimes they'll tweet a thing, and then, like, 20 minutes later they'll retweet the thing, and then an hour after that they'll retweet it again. And it's like, I've seen this 3 times. Stop it. And they're like, no, I have to retweet it 8 times today or else no one's gonna see it. Or, like, I've seen people that really got sucked into the numbers on stuff where they'll share an image, and, like, then they'll take it down in an hour, and they're like, yeah, it didn't get 300 likes. It's a failure. And we're like, what are you talking about? Just post the damn image. Like, just post it and let us look at it. Quit freaking out about the damn numbers. No one's going to pick it up and have it, like, get popular if you aren't patient enough for it. But some people, that gratification had to be instant. I knew someone like that on DeviantArt. Yeah, there's people like that on every platform. What confuses me sometimes is I see people that are genuinely big. They have, like, really big accounts, and then, like, they'll be like, oh no, I lost 50 followers today. And it's just like, you have 70,000 followers. How do you notice when 50 are gone? Numbers game ruins social. People are obsessed with it. Number not being appreciated. Kind of. Like, it can be, and that's the sort of thing. Like, people can get obsessed with growth, and that's not necessarily a thing for social media and numbers. Like, that's business in general. Like, everybody views growth as the be all end all of a business. And while it is good, and while you do want to be growing, like, it's not the end of the world to lose a few here and a few there. Like, if you're hemorrhaging accounts and you can't keep people around, well, then it's worth looking at. But, like, I see people constantly just freaking out about, losing accounts, and there's always somebody who chimes in like, dude, they just did another bot purge. They just got rid of a whole bunch of bots. That's all that happened. So it's fine. Calm down. Have some dip. It's gonna be okay. But yeah, some folks just, like you said, they are so obsessed with that numbers game, and they can't stop looking. That's honestly one of the nice things about control panel for Twitter. Like, if you cannot handle that numbers game, you can turn it off. You can turn off views, you can turn off likes, you can turn off retweets. You can hide all of that and just focus on the parts of Twitter that you like. And it is tremendously helpful for your mental health. But some more water. Nice to have a good drinky. But Yeah, this is, like I said, this is kind of all I had planned for the night. I was jumping between either doing this tonight or possibly doing a stream for like writing reviews for video games, because I'll be honest, sometimes the things I stream, I'm just like, I'm gonna stream this because I want to do it in my off time, and I might as well be streaming it while I do it. There's no reason not to. And yeah, that's all it is. That's why I was streaming like Genshin on the weekends at one point, because not Genshin, Star Rail, Honkai Star Rail. Because I was getting up in the morning and playing Honkai anyways, I might as well stream it. I'm not playing that anymore, but at the time it made sense. So, yeah. If I want to write reviews for games, why not stream it? Let's have a conversation about it. Yes, I know I have unanswered tells telling him. I haven't answered them yet. Quit bugging me every 4 hours. My goodness. But generally, if you're trying to grow on social media, what I've noticed is rather than focusing on the numbers per se, connections matter more. Like, I've seen a lot more growth in interaction, like reaching out to people, talking to people, engaging with them. Like, I streamed for like 2.5, actually I streamed for 3 years, 3 full years before I hit affiliate. Like, I did 1 year, I took a break, and then I came back and did 2 in a row. And it was 3 full years until I hit affiliate. And I really only made progress, like big progress towards the goal, in the end, after meeting people through the speed dating event, through meeting Malice, meeting people who met me and interacted with me and were at the level of where I was and could kind of like empathize with my situation. Like, I would watch their streams, they would watch my streams, and that's eventually how I hit affiliate, is because they were there to help and support me. And, you know, meeting Labs is another example of that. Like, I met Labs on a lark, but I've met a lot of very cool people through Labs, and making those connections with people in the community and being cool and having those professional networking situations. Yeah, Perry is cool as well. I feel bad for the one time I think I might have shot them with a gun in that murder mystery game. Or maybe that was somebody else. That might have been somebody else. Maybe I shot Perry, though. I'm pretty sure Perry had a knife at least one time, so I don't feel too bad about it. Sorry, Perry. If one of us has to die, it's not going to be me. But yeah, like, meet people, talk to people. There was a thing I actually shared on Twitter that somebody actually liked, and maybe it was Perry. Yeah, it was actually Perry. It says it's a decision here. I want to do this, and the options are do it or but I'm scared. And the option after but I'm scared is then do it scared. And sometimes that's just what you got to do. You got to do it scared. Fastest gun in the West, innocent or not, sometimes you got to take that risk. Sometimes you got to take that risk. But yeah, like, it can be hard to network with people. It can be hard to reach out. It can be hard to send that DM or email to somebody saying, hey, I think you're pretty cool and stuff. Do you want to collab? Don't even have a month streaming. Yep. I'm always doing it scared. When I know people are scared, they do great, and it turns out really enjoy it afterwards. Yeah. Exactly, Perry. You meet some good people streaming. Makes you push for it. Exactly. Yeah, it's connections and community. At almost 40 followers. That's extremely good for your first month of streaming. That's really, really good. I think you have more followers in a month than I earned in my first year just trying to just sit there quietly playing games of my own. And I put in the work. Like, I was on stream a couple nights a week. And I think I only made like 15 followers, 20 at most in my first year. So yeah, if you're already at 40 followers and getting close to that affiliate goal in your first month, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Think you're all doing great. Yes, Subtle, you are such a cheerleader in all the best, most complimentary ways. I really appreciate how much you're rooting for us. Let's see. Free to reach out to others, but you're trying, learning from all you guys. Yeah, exactly. Like, generally speaking, if I'm trying to reach out to somebody, usually I'll have an idea of like what I want to play with them. But, you know, it might be something as simple as like, hey, I saw you playing Helldivers, you know, a few weeks ago or a few days ago. I'm also a streamer and I'm playing that too. Do you want to collab sometime? Just leave it open-ended like that. But yeah, it can feel very unnatural. And I've definitely had times when I've reached out to streamers that I was watching and I was interacting with. And funny enough, I think I went like more than a year before I got my first no. I'd have several people who never got back to me and never responded. But I did have no actual no's for a year. And my first no was actually, I think, Malice. And that was, we had collabed a few times. And I messaged her about when we were going to schedule the next one. She's like, I have no idea when I can fit it into my schedule. I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Because, yeah, she streams like 5 nights a week. 5? 4. 4 nights a week. But yeah, like, put yourself out there. Try it. You know, chat with people. Honestly, one thing I have, if check my pinned tweet, and like I have like a card there for like what games I like playing. That's useful to have on your social media profile. Like a lot of people have like a thing pinned to the top that has like the reference sheet, but also just having like what games you like to play and what games you're looking for. That makes it easier for some people to find you. Or when they do find you, you know, they'll be like, oh, hey, you also like Phasmo? You also like being scared and running in the corner and crying? Yes, you are my people. You're very welcome, Perry. Professor Deus is trying to do you all proud. But yeah, I do think that's about all I have to say on any topic tonight. I have somebody I would like to raid. Yeah. We are going to raid somebody that you might already be watching in a different tab. And if you're not, you should be. We're going to raid Labs. So be sure to show up, give her lots of love and hugs, and spook her. Spook her while she's doing Beat Saber. Anyway, I will see you folks again this weekend for some more Chained Echoes. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. This was good. I might do the review stream next week. Yeah, she's grinding that XP in Beat Saber. Yeah. Later, everybody. Gonna get that raid started, and I'm gonna get it switched over to the ending screen. See ya, Perry. See ya, Subtle, if you're still there. No, thank you for showing up, Perry. All right. See you later.